What's up, guys? So here we are. We are in the middle of this coronavirus pandemic, and we're locked down, and we're practicing social distancing. So, what do? Well, we need to be watching more movies, and watching more TV shows, and playing more video games, and reading more comic books, because that's what we do here on this YouTube channel, is we talk about those things. And right now I want to talk about Star Trek Picard, Episode 8. And this was one of those episodes that was full of Star Trek jargon and gobbledygook. And just to be clear, I liked it, but it's not anywhere near my favorite episode of the season. Lots of Star Trek jargon, lots of Star Trek talk, lots of Star Trek gobbledygook happening in this episode. So we have Soji, and she knows where she wants to go now. She wants to go to her home planet, where she was made by Maddox. And then we have Jurati, the blonde. I think her name is Jurati, right? The doctor. She wants to atone for the fact that she killed Maddox, that she had a tracker on her, and the Romulans have been tracking them all this time. So she wants to atone for that. And she actually makes a promise to Soji that she'll never hurt her again, or never try to hurt her, and never kill her, anything like that, right? So Jurati is becoming this real layered, complex character. And I've gone from liking her to despising her to liking her to just kind of being indifferent about her. That's kind of where I am right now on the character. I'm kind of indifferent. But it's a fascinating character no matter how you put it. But one thing that I find interesting is that once again, we're in a situation here where Picard is kind of taking a back seat in his own show. He's still very much in it. He's still very much in it, very much a part of it, but this was an episode where a lot of other people got screen time. And a lot of other people got their stories pushed forward. Obviously, Jurati's one of them. The captain. Gosh, what's the captain's name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. What is it? Rios. It's right there. I got it right there. Rios. He had a really fascinating storyline concerning his past and his former captain that ended up killing himself because he has ties to Data's daughters, and what the encounter with Data's daughters that Rios and his captain had, what that did to Rios's captain. Really kind of convoluted story, but really very interesting one. You don't hear about Starfleet officers committing suicide a whole lot. That's what we got here. So that was very interesting in and of itself. Probably the most fun stuff I had watching this episode, though, was Seven of Nine going in to where is it? Yeah, Seven of Nine going in to rescue Elnor. I always want to say Elrond. That's why I just had to check it, because I knew it wasn't Elrond. Elnor reminds me of a Lord of the Rings elf, though. Does he not? Right? Does he not remind you of a Lord of the Rings elf? So Elnor, Seven of Nine, goes into the Borg cube to rescue Elnor, and she goes into the Queen's, the Queen's, I don't know what it is, the Queen's hub, and hooks herself up to the Queen's control panels, because she wants to use the drones to take them to Soji's planet. What's her name? Narissa? Let me check. Narissa? Yeah, Narissa. Narissa, the Romulan, the evil, bad Romulan. She actually takes control and jettisons most of the drones out into space. That was the most fun part of this episode to me, was seeing Seven of Nine come in and do what she does, and reconnecting herself to the collective, and then seeing Narissa's pushback against that. You know, we got moves, we got counter moves, so there's a lot of action happening here. That was really entertaining. So again, Picard, while he was present, Picard wasn't actually driving any of the action this time. The action was driven by Rios. by Girardi, by Rafi, by Seven of Nine, Narissa, all the people that are now around Picard. They drove the action in this episode, and I found it fascinating. It still doesn't always feel like Star Trek. It doesn't. It still does not always feel like Star Trek, but it's still compelling storytelling. And it's compelling as Star Trek also. Even though it doesn't always feel like Star Trek, it's compelling because this is Star Trek now. And we've seen the world that Star Trek inhabits evolve. Or de-evolve. In my opinion, it's de-evolved. Right? Now we've got people who are addicts. Now we've got people who swear. Now we've got people... We never hear Picard swear, by the way. But now we got people who swear. Now we got people who, are not living up to the ideals that we were to believe that all of humanity embraced watching The Next Generation. These ideals that I believed that all of humanity embraced in The Next Generation. This idea that we are trying to better ourselves. We don't need money. We don't have to rely on substance abuse. Right? We have bettered ourselves as a society, and that hasn't happened. Whether it's the creative people behind Star Trek now who are just ignoring that, or whether in that world they've actually slid as a society, I don't know. But it's very interesting to look at where Star Trek: The Next Generation, the world they inhabited, and then the world where Picard inhabits, and to compare and contrast two worlds. At the very least, it's interesting. So, Picard episode 8 was good. It wasn't great. It was not amongst the best Star Trek Picard episodes, but it was good enough that I really enjoyed myself watching it. Hoping that Picard can get in a little bit more on the action in the next episode. But overall, had a really good time with it. But yeah, 2 more episodes left, guys. 2 more episodes left, episode 9 and episode 10. So really anxious to see how they wrap this up. I know that season 2 has already been greenlit, so we kind of know some things because of that. We know that Picard's going to survive. We know that probably Soji's going to survive. But where is it going to all end up? They got 2 more hours to tell us. So what did you think of Picard episode 8? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your take on it. And thanks so much for being here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and until next time, we'll see you later.